Yes, that is the theme for Family Affair, which ran from 1966 to 1971. And up next is my conversation with Kathy Garver, who played Cissy on Family Affair. And again, this is John Baldwin, and we're at the Western Film Fair, and it's my honor right now to talk to Kathy Garver, who many of you know from the wonderful show Family Affair. She played Cissy on the show. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much, John. I'm delighted to speak with you.
Well, how are you enjoying the Western Film Fair so far?
I love it. It's like a reunion to me, almost like a family reunion, because I've been to the Western Film Fair previously, and also I've gone to Asheville and North Carolina. So, and I've seen a lot of the people that I met there. So it's like, how are you doing? And what are you doing now? So it's really a very warm atmosphere.
Well, I noticed I was doing some research on your different roles. You actually had a part in the 10 Commandments. Tell us a little bit about that.
That was one of my first roles, and it's really great to start out with Charlton Heston and God. And you know this movie is going to have a longevity since it's kind of based on the Bible.
Right. Awesome. And how did the role of Cissy in Family Affair come about?
Well, they had previously cast Brian Keith as Uncle Bill and Sebastian Cabot as his Manny, we would call him today, and Anissa Jones as Buffy, and they wanted to have a boy at 10 years old, but when Brian Keith had seen Johnny Whitaker in The Russians Are Coming movie, he said, oh, here's somebody perfect that could be a twin to Anissa. So the twins were born. So everyone was cast except me. So they needed a blonde, blue-eyed teenager. Well, now, you looking at me right now, John, see that my eyes are brown. And I had brown hair at the time. So I said, well, what are we going to do about this? I was at UCLA, and my mom rushed over, and she sprayed my hair with this substance called Streaks and Tips, and I came out with a golden helmet that if you pressed on my hair, you would either get stuck there or it would not. This, of course, is all in my book coming out, Surviving Cissy, My Family Affair of Life in Hollywood, and I explain how I went to the producer, and we are chatting, and he said, what's the matter with your hair? I said, my hair? He said, yes, it's turning green. I said, well, we chatted a little while, broke the ice, and rest is history.
Wow. Now, what is it about the show that you think is still so endearing to people over all these years later?
It has a real classic theme, I believe, and that's why it became a classic. We had fabulous writers and directors two directors that had come from the big screen, that had done Abbott and Costello and the Bob Hope shows, and that were so talented. So they wrote our scripts, and it was on film. And the theme is never ending and will always be with us, because our theme was primarily about love, and that never grows old. Exactly.
And Brian Keith was always, you know, when I think of Brian Keith, I think of Hardcastle McCormick and the rough character. When I watched that show, he was so gentle and loving with the kids. It was just such a great thing to see.
He went through, I think, a lot of different cycles, and there was a time when he was known as the manly man, and he did, you know, the Mountain Men with Charlton Heston, and then he started to do, like with You Get Egg Rolls with Doris Day, and showed his comedic side. And then when he did The Parent Trap, then they saw, you know, how funny he was and how good he was with kids. So, and at that time, he had like 4 kids. And so that was like his familial side. So then, after he got his divorce, and then he got older, and then he got a little bitter, he turned into a, you know, manly, grumpy old man.
Right.
But always lovable.
Yeah. Now, you just did different voices out. Now, you do a lot of voiceovers for different shows, too. Tell us about some of those.
Well, I've done like 5 animated series. One was Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, where I played the voice of Firestar, and Angelica Jones, and Dixie Steiner, and also had in an anime, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. But I also record a lot of books. I've done over 60 audiobooks, a lot of which are available on Amazon.com, or you just Google Kathy Garver, Kathygarver. You'll come up with all of these works, as well as my new book, and the other one that I wrote, which was the Family Affair Cookbook.
And I understand y'all cook at home from that cookbook sometimes.
Yes, we do. My son, I hate to admit, is even a better cook than me. I mean, I'm going around measuring everything. He's throwing in this, throwing in that, and it all comes out beautifully.
Well, wonderful. Now, personally for me, my favorite Western was The Big Valley, and you had a role on one of theirs. I think it was called I forget the name now.
The Royal Road. I'll help you out, John.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about what it was like to work with the cast of Big Valley.
Well, it was wonderful. I didn't work with everybody on there. I worked primarily with Peter Breck, and the other guest star was Sajid Khan, who was a big Indian star. And then he went on to do Maya with Dennis the Menace's Jay North. And they shot right next door to us at CBS Studio Center. So that was a breeze. It just went next door and filmed it. And then we went on location. I rode the horses and got mud fighting, and it was an exciting episode. I
forgot about the mud fighting. Yeah, that's an interesting part of that episode. What are some of the awards you've been honored with?
Well, I just got a Lifetime Achievement Award, and my son says, "Mom, you can't get that. You're not dead yet." I said, "Thank you, honey, but it's okay." So I've actually now gotten 2 Lifetime Achievements, and I've gotten the Family Award for the Best Actress in a TV Family Show. And hopefully continue to get... and I've won like 4 Oddies. Oddies is an award for the spoken word for my audiobooks. I'll tell you a short story. I also direct audiobooks, and I directed Amy Tan in Saving Fish for Drowning, one of her very popular, successful books. So we were both nominated for the award, and I called her and I said, "Amy, isn't this great? We were nominated for and won the Audie." And she said, "Yeah, but when they first called, I thought I'd won a car." No cars, but lots of accolades.
That is funny. One of the current projects you're working on that I'm fascinated by is a revival of Twilight Zone, but it's not TV, it's radio, right?
That's right. My friend Carla Mari in Chicago got the rights for the original TV series to make them into radio presentations, audio radio theater. And so he took them, and they are fabulous scripts. We've recorded them. I recorded 5. Stacy Keach played Rod Serling's part, and he introduces them, and I actually did one of the episodes with Stacy called The Fever with the slot machines. So that was it's at twilightzoneradio.com is where you can get them.
That is awesome. And you've done some musicals recently too, right? Or a musical?
Yes, I just did the River Song, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and we premiered that in Tennessee. But the exciting news about that is we're going to take it to Hannibal, Missouri, where Mark Twain wrote so many of his fabulous classic books, and Tom Sawyer included. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Awesome. And tell us again, where can people find out about you online? Do you have a website and a Facebook page or anything like that?
I do. My webpage is www.kathygarver, KathyGarver.com. My Facebook is Kathy Garver. My Twitter is Coco Gigi. And call me up anytime.
Okay.
I won't give out the number, but hey, there's contact in all those places.
I got to tell you, earlier today, somebody came up from behind you and called you Cissy, and you turned around. So that I guess you're used to that, aren't you?
Once a sissy, always a sissy.
Well, thank you so much, Kathy. I look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Thank you, John.